All right, everybody. Today we continue with Frankenstein. It's good so far. I think it's going to be better than the last book. Chapter 3, Discovering an Astonishing Secret. My boyhood dreams for studying science continued at the university. My aim was still to find ways to cure disease and prolong human life. I was encouraged to study both modern and ancient scientists by Professor Waldman, my favorite teacher. By combining knowledge from both, he told me, you'll have unlimited powers. You'll be able to discover the secrets of the earth and the heavens, along with the secret of man's body and how it works. But sir, I protested, I want to discover more than just the secrets of how the human body works. And it was at that moment that I knew I had to discover the secrets of how the human body was created. Seeing my eyes glowing with enthusiasm, but not imagining where my ambition was heading, Professor Walden promised me, my boy, I'm delighted with your attitude and proud of your desire to succeed. You can be sure I'll give you all the help that you need. Professor Waldman became my friend as well as my teacher during the next 2 years. I read every scientific paper I could find, attended every lecture possible, and talked with the greatest scientists at the university. I set up a laboratory on the top floor of my apartment house and worked most nights straight through until dawn. Professor Waldman called me into his lab one morning. Victor, your progress has been amazing these past 2 years. Thank you, sir. I'm now devoting more time to the study of anatomy and physiology so that one day I can discover how human life begins. But I know that to do that, I must first study how life ends, how the body dies and decays. This is a most ambitious project, Victor. Scientists have been trying to unlock these secrets since the world began. You are a brilliant scientist, destined for greatness. If anyone can do it, you can. But you must not ignore the world around you and the people who love you. By the way, do you realize it's been 2 years since you went home to visit your family in Geneva? My work is too important now for me to take time out for a visit, I told him. And the professor didn't press me on it. For the next months, I spent days and nights in charnel houses, the church building where corpses were kept until they were buried. I learned what happened to people's bodies right after death. But I needed to know more. I needed to know how death changed the human body as weeks, months, and even years passed. To learn this, I secretly visited cemeteries on dark nights and dug up bodies to study them. Wow. Months of studying and experimenting led to one memorable night when a wondrous light turned on in my brain. In that one astonishing moment, I suddenly understood not only how life turned into death, but how death could be turned back into life. This realization made me so dizzy. All I could do was ask myself, why didn't the great scientists who came before me discover this secret? Why have I been blessed with unlocking the mysteries of creation? What followed next were weeks and months of incredible work and fatigue. Not only had I discovered the origin of life, but I continued experimenting until I was actually able to create life from lifeless matter. The joy I felt made me forget the painful weeks and months I'd spent on my work. All I knew was that I had discovered something that men of science had been trying to discover since the world began. At this point in Victor Frankenstein's story, Robert Walton interrupted. Amazing, he cried. And are you about to share your secret with me, my friend? Victor shook his head sadly. I can't, Robert. I know I owe you my life, and because of that, I ask you to please just listen to the rest of my story. Then you'll understand why I can't share my secret with you, or anyone else on this earth. For if you were to learn that terrible secret, you would be destroyed, just as I have been. Let's That's the end of chapter 3. Chapter 4, Creating the Monster. Interesting. Why do I say that I've been destroyed? I say it because the knowledge and power that the secret gave me was more than I, or any man for that matter, could handle. At first, I spent a great deal of time wondering how to use that knowledge. I knew how to create life, but what should I put that life into? I would need some sort of form in which to put muscles, bones, organs, arteries, veins, and other body parts. Should I try to create a simple animal or a person like myself? My wild imagination soared, and I truly believed I could do anything with this new knowledge. Yes, I would give life to a creature as complex and as wonderful as a human being. Because of all the intricate parts that made up a human body, I decided that the creature couldn't be small or even of normal size. It would have to be gigantic, about 8 feet tall, for me to be able to attach all the body parts inside and outside. I spent the next several months collecting all the materials I would need: bones from bodies in charnel houses, animal parts from slaughterhouses where meat was prepared for market, live animals I trapped or bought, body parts and instruments from the dissecting room at the university, and yes, whole bodies, which I dug up from graveyards. During these months, it was summer when I began, I refused to rest. Night after night, through fall, winter, spring, into the next summer and fall, I worked in my laboratory. I forgot to eat. I barely slept. I gave no thought to all of my family, even though in every letter I received, my father told me how worried he was about me. There were times that I hated what I was doing. Then at other times I was eager and impatient to finish my creation. It was almost winter when my work was nearing success. But what price was my body paying for that success? My brain was tortured with fever. I'd become so nervous that the noise of a leaf falling off a tree startled me. I'd been avoiding everyone at the university for many months because my wrecked body was too frightening even for me to look at in the mirror. But I told myself, this will all disappear once my work is done, and I'll be back to my old self again soon. How wrong I was. That's the end of chapter 4. Kind of a quick one. This is good. Hope you're enjoying it. Stay tuned.